We reported earlier that Starbucks will close its stores and corporate offices on May 29th for company-wide racial bias training. The announcement comes in response to public protests and calls to boycott Starbucks. Protesters are upset about the arrest of 2 black men at a Philadelphia store last week. Gayle is at another Starbucks in Philadelphia. Gayle, good morning again.
Thank you very much, John. Joining me now to discuss the incident and how the company is handling it is Starbucks Executive Chairman, that's Howard Schultz. It is an interview that you will see only on CBS This Morning. And Howard, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us this morning.
Thank you, Gayle.
Listen, we have all heard the phrase driving while black, shopping while black, and now, Howard, there's a hashtag that says Starbucks while black. You see and you hear that and you think what?
Well, I'm embarrassed, ashamed. I think what occurred was reprehensible at every single level. I think I take it very personally, as everyone in our company does, and we're committed to making it right. The announcement we made yesterday about closing our stores, 8,000 stores closed, to do significant training with our people is just the beginning of what we will do to transform the way we do business and educate our people on unconscious bias.
And it will cost you millions of dollars, too.
Oh, it will cost millions of dollars, but I've always viewed this and things like this as not an expense, but an investment in our people and our company. And we're better than this, and I think people expect us to be at a higher level than many other companies, and I understand that.
I've heard the phrase racial bias training. What exactly does that mean? People are saying to me, Gayle, this is just a big PR stunt. This is an overreaction. What does Howard and his company really expect to accomplish in a training session in an afternoon?
We've had 2 company-wide meetings. I held one in Seattle 3 days ago.
Since this happened?
Yes, and I held one yesterday here in Philadelphia. And I think the truth of the matter is that every one of us has a different life experience. And that different life experience, unfortunately, produces a level of bias or unconscious bias about what we feel as people. And I think we have an opportunity, with the help of Cheryl Eiffel from the NAACP and Brian Stevenson and Heather McGee, people who have been in this space for a long time, to help guide us, support
Brian
us.
Stevenson of the Equal Justice Initiative.
Yes. And I want to say something I think is very important. This is not going to be a one-day event where we're going to do something and leave. We're going to stay with this. It's going to be significant. It's going to endure, and we're going to transform the way we do business. I also think it's an opportunity for healing. Yesterday, I spent time with the white manager who did make the 911 call. Mm-hmm. And
is she still with the company?
No, she has left the company. I think there's a unique opportunity for her and the 2 gentlemen to sit down and potentially have some kind of reconciliation.
Do you see that happening?
I do. I think it's going to be possible. I think she's interested in doing it, and I think Kevin has spent time with the 2 young men. And I think
Kevin Johnson, the Starbucks CEO.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So perhaps something good can come out of this. And by that I mean this has highlighted for us that we have more work to do as a company. And I think, race is a very difficult subject to discuss. We learned that 3 years ago.
Yeah, you tried with the Race Together campaign, and it did not go well for you all.
It didn't. And I think one of the reasons is that many people in America are not prepared to talk about race. I understand that. But this is a systemic problem in the country. That's not to say what happened at Starbucks is not an issue. It is an issue. And it's an issue that we will address, we will fix, we take it personally, and I can promise you that I am deeply, deeply committed to comprehensive training for our people.
I would like to know more about the conversation with the manager yesterday. What did you say? What did she say? How is she feeling? Why did she make that call to the police?
Yeah, I think for her, she is suffering herself in her own way. I think she recognizes that perhaps that call should not have been made. I don't think she intended when she made the call for the police to arrive and arrest the 2 young men.
What did she think was going to happen?
I think she probably thought that the police were going to talk to the men about what they were doing and why they were there. And I think you have to say, in looking at the tape, that she demonstrated her own level of unconscious bias. And in looking at the tape, you ask yourself whether or not that in fact was racial profiling.
Yeah. Is there any doubt in your mind that the call would not have been made had there been two white men? And, you know, white customers in the store were saying, look, I've been sitting here. No one has said anything to me. The two black men, by the way, in their 20s were there to meet a realtor to discuss a business deal.
Yeah. No, there's no doubt in my mind that the reason that they were called was because they were African American. And I think I'm embarrassed by that. I'm ashamed of that. That's not who Starbucks is. That's not who we have been, and that's not who we're going to be.
Does she now think she made the wrong decision, the manager?
I think she regrets calling 911, yes.
What, if anything, does the company plan to do for the two black men? I know Kevin Johnson, the CEO, has met with them. Have you all had any discussions about what, if anything, Starbucks should do, could do for these two young men?
Yeah. I think
about how they handled it too, Howard.
I think it's actually not many people have recognized the fact that this could have turned into something much, much worse.
Yes.
That they acted in a very passive way, and thank God for that.
They were very calm and cooperative, yes.
Yes. So what we have tried to do with the two young men, and Kevin has met with them, is ask them, what can Starbucks, given our resources and the capabilities we have, they have an interest in real estate, what can we do to help advise them and support their own business endeavors? And I think what will come out of this is that given the resources that we do have, that we will provide them with a foundation of learning and provide them with an opportunity to be part of our company either directly or indirectly as a result of this situation.
All right, Howard, I have more questions, but we're on live TV. We're out of time. Can you stick around and I can continue the conversation? We'll run the interview at 8 o'clock. Will you do that? Because I know you have another meeting at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
For now, right now, we'll send it back to you all in the studio.
Thank you, Gayle. A really good interview and a lot of new information there that we learned this morning about steps that Starbucks is going to take and about a possible meeting between that manager and those two men. Thank you so much, Gayle. We'll look forward to the rest of that conversation.